Hey guys, JH. Welcome to Practice Tee. Okay, now this is a little bit of departure from channel lock. This is because I still teach a lot of conventional golf swings, mechanics. Now this is for people that play with any type of conventional golf swing. And I had a look the other day on the internet. I just googled ways to swing a golf club, and I came back with 1,380,000 references. 1,380,000 ways to swing a golf club. And I guess probably collectively we've all tried that 1,380,000. I've been guilty of it, everybody's been guilty of it. But guys, I don't think it has to be that complicated. And I don't think you need 1,380,000 ways of swinging a golf club. I think there's an elementary, fundamental, mechanical principle. If you apply just that, the body will follow that fundamental positioning of the golf club, and it will put itself in motion and go into the positions it needs to go into to get the golf club, or to support what you're going to do with the golf club. Now the what you're going to do with the golf club is simply this. In all good ball strikers, there's one thing that really is consistent with all of them, and that is that there is a correlation between the shaft, the leading edge of the club, the back of the lead hand, and the back of the lead forearm. It's that. And it's that at the top of the golf swing. All that is in position and in plane. And that is essentially just that. That. Now, in conjunction with that, with those angles, and the leading edge, the front side of the shaft, the back of the lead hand, and the back of the front of the lead forearm, in conjunction with that, when they do that, they invariably point the club at the target. They just point the head of it at the target like that. They take it back and they point it at the target like that. Now that is inherent in all great ball strikers and good players. You don't have to be a great ball striker, but good players have that consistency of mechanics and the direction pointing of the golf club. So if you just took those two facets into consideration and applied them, if you just did this, I'm thinking, I want that lead edge, that front of the shaft there, back of the left hand here. I want all those in line at the top of the swing. And I want to point the club at the target at the top of the swing. Now if you just did that and pointed the club at the top of the swing towards the target, pointed the head of it towards the target, and had those angles in place, and you just did that, I promise you, if you do that, all this stuff here will follow all this stuff. The body will respond to the movement and the positioning of that club head and those angles. You don't have to worry about how much weight I'm going to shift. Do I turn my right hip? Do I keep weight on the left? And you don't have to worry about any of that. Guys, you do not have to worry about any of that. This activation of the hands in moving the golf club in that fashion there, keeping those angles there, cocking the wrist, pointing the club here, it just drags all this into submission and into compliance. The hands and the thought process and the mechanics of that make all this happen, and all these components be an accompanying act to the conductor. Consider this the conductor of the orchestra, and these are the other players, and they are just going to be accompanying the lead musician, or even just the maestro with the baton. This is your baton here, and whatever that baton does here, all the other accompanying parts of the orchestra, and in this case the body, will follow the lead of the conductor. That's the conductor. These are the followers. These are the players in the orchestra, the accompanying musicians, if you will. But if we can get the conductor to conduct, and how does that happen? It happens with the hands. It happens with the hands taking the club back, and feeling the alignment and the configuration of that. It's all a hands activated thing, guys. It's simply that. I get here and I want to keep all that in line. I've got it here, and take it here, put it up here and point it at the target here. And look, all this has come across. That's braced. Everything's in position. I don't have to do anything else. It's all happened as a result of just doing that, of getting that alignment of that leading edge, the front of the shaft, back of the lead hand, and the front of the forearm. If I just get all that geometry in place and point that club head at the target, everything else falls into place. You don't have to think about anything else. The hands are really a neglected component in most golf swings. And people say, oh, if you get the hands into it, they'll never be the same. Well, I promise you, the hands are really the only component in the body that really has a capability to do something the same every time, because they're so dexterous. And they're used to critical motor move positioning. They're used to that. They're used to that. If I had a little circle there, half-inch circle, and I had a probe or a pin in my hand here, and I wanted to put that probe in that, and I've been involved in tests like this, guys. I've had that little circle there, and that's had an electric current through it going to an oscilloscope, and you've got to be able to put that through, and that ring can be expanded or contracted, and you have to be able to put it in there without touching the sides, otherwise the oscilloscope shows that you've touched it, which means you're doing that. And it's amazing the dexterity level that you can get to and the fine motor movement that you can get to by doing that, by going from here and putting it in there. But I promise you wouldn't put that in there if you had that there and you're getting your body to put it in there. You'd never get it there. You need this fine motor movement capability of the hands. Now, I've done that before, and I've been involved in those tests, and it shows that these are the only things that will give you consistent fine motor movement repetitiveness. So rely on them. Use your hands and rely on them. So once we're here, all we're going to do is maintain those angles when we take it back. Point it at the target, here, there. Now, I don't go back that far in my golf swing, but you can. So guys, that's all you've got to do. I promise you, that's all you've got to do. Think about that and nothing else, and let the body go along for the ride. Okay, you have to set the body in the right place with the right configuration to allow it to rotate and move into the support configuration that it needs to. Now, what that is, guys, is just balance at address. When we get in this position here, it's essentially this, guys. This is what all it is. The golf club is here. This is the way. This is the simplicity of the golf swing. Simplicity of the golf swing. It's old stuff, but we never really refer to it. But you don't really have to do a lot of crazy stuff. It's all there if you just let it happen. If I have this configuration here down here and I have it in that position there it is. It's all in line there. There it is there. Now I've got that there right in front of me. Now there it is. Now how do I get that to the ball? All I do is I flex my legs and I bend forward from the hips to there. And there it is. Now all that configuration is maintained. Here. I go here. There it is there, and I just bend it down here. There. I've just sat into the shot, posterior back, knees flexed, and I've just bent from the hips, not the waist. Don't bend from the waist, bend from the hips. Here. What could be simpler than that? You've already we've got that configuration here. Here it is down here, all these angles here. There it is there. I'm standing upright. I'm just going to put that on the ball. So what I do, I just bend forward like a duck drinking, bend the legs, and just put it down there. That's it, guys. That's how you set up. Now you've got that nice flex in the legs. And all we want to do is maintain that flex in the legs when we take the club back. We don't want to have that nice configuration here and lose that on the backswing by doing that. We want to have that there and just keep it there. Now I feel a big amount of core wind up there, and for anybody that overswings, this will be fantastic. But the stability that you feel in that is enormous. So you don't have to worry about, where's my weight going to be? Well, how much do I turn my hips? Where do I take the golf club? Do I take it inside? Do I take it outside? Don't worry about that. Once we've got our nice address position here, just get these hands and just take them back, and don't roll them. Don't under roll them, and don't over roll them. Just take them back here and just point that club. What have I got to do to point that club at the target here? And keep that trail leg flexed and this leg flexed. Guys, it's that simple. I promise you it's that simple. You can't have 1,380,000 different ways to think about swinging a golf club. We're all built the same. The only difference is we'll have different segment lengths, different horizontal and vertical centers of gravity, and different tempo ratios and that type of thing. But for all intents and purposes, we're pretty much the same. We may have different torso lengths, different elbow to wrist lengths, their component, different shoulder widths, but they're all individualistic. But the basic overall application of those things is the same. So you don't need to complicate it. And I guess traditionally, even with a conventional swing, I guess I was always very, very, even though I've advocated hundreds of different types of golf swing, my own golf swing, and that's only for people that can't swing with a standard golf swing like I normally swing with, that have difficulty. So that I've always provided options and alternatives. That's the only reason I've ever done that. But my own standard golf swing with a conventional golf swing, and I've always taken the grip in this fashion here, guys. I've always just held it in the left hand like Adam Scott. I just like to feel the club there, and that gives me that straight line configuration there for a start. Then I put the trail hand on. Then I come in here, and for setting up, for people who have difficulty setting up, guys, something that's as simple as falling off a log. Just do this. Once you've got that configuration there, just come in with the ball between your feet like that, and then just step away. There it is. Perfect ball position. Now we don't have to go forward with the hands. We don't have to go back. We don't have to load. Just go here. People say, is it off my left heel, left toe, middle? I don't worry about that. It's just centered. And I play every shot like that. I never go backwards with short clubs, you know, back different distance. Don't do any of that. It's always where my arms are here, and I just step away from it here, like that. And it really is as simplistic as that. Now guys, that's the first shot of the day, and I've aimed at the tree and it's just hit the trunk of the tree. What could be simpler than that? That goes straight because all the angles are in line. There's no variables. There's not this going on. There's not that going on. In the backswing, there's not face going under, face going over, club coming up, club coming back, shoulder roll. There's none of that. It's just standing here in this configuration here, and we're just pushing it back, pulling it back with the hands, keeping all that in position, keeping that leg and pointing the club at the target. Here. It's that simple. You don't have to do anything else. But if you think about, you know, ball position, shaft angles, weight distribution with your feet, everything is as we're designed to be, guys. We don't walk down the road like that, or like that, only when we're inebriated. We walk like this, so we're balanced. So that's what we should do when we play golf, or set up to swing a golf club. That's what we should do. We should just swing the golf club in a balanced fashion. And what could be more balanced than that? Now you'll be hard pressed to push me over. You couldn't push me over because I'm using my natural balance factors here. Here. I'm coiled up, sitting into it. Okay guys, that's just a basic elementary structural process for a conventional golf swing. And really you don't need any more than that in a golf swing. You don't need any more than that. That's as simplistic as it comes. Now you don't want to be thinking, I'm going to take it in here, I'm going to roll it in here, then I'm going to cock it up, then I'm going to hold it, then I'm going to drop it back. You can't do that, guys. There's no brain that can do that consistently. Can't do that. Have a look at Sam Snead. Sam Snead did that better than anybody. He had that configuration line better than anyone that's ever played the game. Unbelievably so. So did Jack. Jack had the best structural trail knee and the best configuration of those alignment angles as well. So they're indisputable. The great swingers of all time have done that. They've all done that. Okay, we've seen some idiosyncratic things and people have played well with them, you know. Lee Trevino with the bowed left wrist at the top, you know, and the underplane and the pull and all that type of stuff, you know. This type of thing you can get away with if you're a talented dude like he was. But I'm talking about us. And what's the easiest way to swing a golf club? And the most consistent way? And the most body compatible way from a body component point of view? Just try it, guys. It's the simplest thing in the world. Get those angles there and point the head of the club at the target there into a braced and flexed trail knee. Just do that. Okay, guys, that's conventional golf swing made easy. Have a look at that. Any thoughts on it? Just post your comments on the channel.